Some of the trading volume numbers, I just wonder if you think it does sort of ratify this belief that demand is broadening out.
Look, 68 million verified users and the transacting users up 44% in a single quarter. That's a ridiculously big stat. Microsoft and Apple were on-ramp to personal computers. Google was an on-ramp to the World Wide Web. And Coinbase is that on-ramp to the next revolution that's remaking society, which is crypto. 68 million users is not a small number, but we're really just scratching the surface of where this is going to go. And this company that's throwing off billions of dollars in real earnings per year in an area of extreme growth. Net income is up more than 100% quarter on quarter, and that's crazy. We're at 1% here.
Crazy, crazy, crazy indeed. And the market is pumping on the back of the Coinbase results. And let me tell you, those Coinbase results were phenomenal, mind-blowing results. We're going to look at those results. We're going to look at why they are moving the markets. We're going to look at what other tokens are going to be moving. And then we're going to look at institutional trading patterns. We've got some real juice about how the institutions are trading against you, and especially doing it over weekends. So, welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man Run. I'm here 3 times a day. I bring you a technical show in the morning. I bring you a fundamental show in the afternoon. And now, a new show called Microdose. And it's exactly that. It's a microdose of crypto content with 0 side effects. In fact, only positive side effects. It's me trying to give you a single shot in, Freddie, how long have I got? I've got 8 minutes left, in 10 minutes every single day. So if you're new to our channel, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, spread the love. I do see you all in the comments, but I can't say hey to all of you right now because I've got 8 minutes to finish the show. So let's start off with the biggest story of the news today, the Coinbase results and why they're moving the markets. And let me tell you that these Coinbase results were mind-blowing. Coinbase have 68 million accounts, almost 9 million monthly active users, 9,000 institutions on their books. And when you look at the numbers, this is where you see how amazing this business is. The numbers are as follows. If you looked at the Coinbase numbers, a year ago at this time, they had 1.5 million customers. They've grown their customer base by 6x in the last year. And that kind of gives you a feel for how fast crypto is going, because Coinbase is probably your best gauge for how fast crypto is growing. Their users have grown 6x in the last year. Their trading volume has grown by 20x from $28 billion to $462 billion in the last year. Their revenue today on $2 billion, a year ago at this time, it was less than $200 million. It was $178 million. And their net income has grown from $32 million, get this, to 50 times that at $1.6 billion per quarter. That means that Coinbase is looking to make about $10 billion in profits this year. And the big thing about these numbers is that these numbers are in Q2, which was primarily a bear market. And they had this phenomenal growth even in the bear market. We got some other clues out of the Coinbase numbers, which I want to share with you. Let's have a look at them. The first thing we saw is that Coinbase confirms that it's been working with Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla. So now we know where Elon Musk is buying his Coinbase and where SpaceX is buying their Coinbase, and so Tesla. We also know that it counts 10 of the top 100 hedge funds in the world as its clients. Now, how many of those clients haven't yet started trading on the Coinbase platform? Or when are we going to see them start really going all in? And that is super exciting. We're also seeing that the Coinbase client base are degens, just like us. Because if you look at the volumes, Ether increased in volume. Trading in Ether made up 26% of the total Coinbase volumes, and that's up from 21% in the previous 3 months. Bitcoin volumes fell sharply from 39% to 24%, which means the Coinbase base are absolute degens. And with numbers like this, can't help but be excited, because this is what Wall Street sees, and this is how they measure the growth of crypto and decide whether they should allocate money to it. So this is absolutely huge. All right, in other news, Freddie, our producer, who has been doing some investigative work, and Very, very, very good investigative work. In fact, much honor to Freddie, who's been doing amazing work. He found a report, and the report has been done by KAIKO Markets. And KAIKO says that the trends in crypto are changing. Well, how are the trends in crypto changing? Because if you understand the trend is your friend until the end. I think that's how it goes, right? But you've got to understand the trend, because the trend is the friend until the end. So what do we know about crypto? Well, we know from the KAIKO report, and it's a good report. It's not a KAIKO report. It's a very good report. We know that the trading activity is moving from China and the East to the West. And that's part of what this report says. It said on the derivatives market, KAIKO saw that on an hourly basis, people are moving to 14 or 1600 UTC, which means that this is the European and US trading time, and it's moving away from the Western trading times. We know that the ratio of weekend trades to weekday trades is at around 1, which means that the volumes on the weekends are now growing to be at the same volume as the weekdays, which is massive. It shows that there is a big shift into weekend tradings when the main markets are closed. But who's doing this trading on the weekends? This is where it gets interesting, because let me tell you, it's not you and me bringing in the volume. It's the institutions. And they've moved from the weekday trading, which they're used to weekend trading. So next time you're trading on the weekend, you're trading against an institution. So trade accordingly. You're not trading against other retail investors. You're trading through sophisticated computer programs and algorithms that are trying to beat you on the weekend. So what this article said, it said, as more traditional market makers and quant shops are coming into the crypto space, we see higher liquidity on the weekends than in the past. We are definitely seeing the institutions take advantage of 24/7 access to markets. This means they are being able to react to developments as they happen, as opposed to wait for them to be open on a Monday morning. So remember, guys, when you're trading against the weekend, in fact, when you're trading, you are trading against an institution. And if you're trading against an institution, you better beware. You better beware. All right, in other big news, Cardano has released a date for its launch of smart contracts. In a live stream, Charles Hoskinson did a Justin Sun and made an announcement about an announcement. Listen to this.
Nigel cleans it up and makes it pretty for Friday. So Friday we'll have the mid-August update. Hopefully we'll get a link to share tomorrow or the day after. And I'd love to see you guys there, and we'll be able to announce when the Alonzo hard fork is going to happen. And at that point, you can run smart contracts on Cardano. Congratulations. How about that? It will be before the IO Global, before the Cardano Summit, just to give you some boundings there. And I think you guys will be very happy with the date and time.
I don't know what that sounds like to you, but if I know Charles, and I do know Charles because Charles and I are mates, he's going to drop a bomb that it's launching way sooner than we all expect. And you could see he got so emotional about it. Because when smart contracts come to Cardano, Cardano is officially in the race. And I think a lot of people are waiting for Cardano to be in the race. And that's why the price of Cardano has been spiking. So Cardano finally ready to do their Alonzo hard fork, which will bring smart contracts to Cardano. The price is flying. And probably a good time to be getting into the ecosystem of Cardano. Ocam, CardStarter, Giro, Charlie 3. Watch those tokens, because when Cardano starts running, they're going to start running. All right, Fred's waving me down. He's saying, you're going over time. But I do want to talk to you about the dumbest hacker in the whole. In fact, it's not only the dumbest hacker, but it's also the dumbest hack in the whole world. We do know that Polynetwork was hacked for $611 million in the biggest DeFi hack in history. Well, what they did after that was they wrote a very sweet letter to the hacker. And they said, dear hacker, we are the Polynetwork team. We want to establish communication with you and urge you to return the hacked assets. We urge you. The amount of money you hacked is the biggest one in DeFi history. Law enforcement in any country will regard this as a major economic crime, and you will be pursued. It is very unwise for you to do any further transactions. The money you stole are from tens of thousands of crypto community members, hence the people. You should talk to us to work out a solution. I mean, that sounds like a letter that a second grader wrote to speak to a hacker who obviously knew exactly what he was doing before he did it. But in the strangest turn of events ever, they found the hacker very quickly. They tracked his email and his IP address, and the hacker is now in the process of returning the money to the smart contracts. Here are all the smart contracts on the transactions, and he's returning the money bit by bit, all $611 million of the biggest hack in DeFi history. And this is a funny situation because this hacker is leaving notes in the blockchain, ready to return the fund. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. In fact, I don't know if it is the strangest thing I've ever seen. I think the strangest thing I've ever seen is what's going on in NFTs. I get NFT gaming and why games like Axie Infinity and Splinterlands and Fairylands are exploding, and Gala and Sandbox. But what I don't get is how anybody can pay $130 million for that punk. That punk sold for $130 million, and there was another transaction for a rock. A rock. Because this rock over here, this rock is no ordinary rock. This is a special rock. It's a rock with much honor. Because the buyer of this rock, yeah, I'm not kidding you guys, the buyer of this rock paid $251,092 for the rock 3 hours and 14 minutes ago. Much stupidity. I mean, I thought the hacker was dumb, but people who pay 130, you know what you can buy for $130 million? A house, a yacht, a plane, yeah, and a hamburger. You can buy all of that for $130 million and still have change. And this guy bought a punk. Guys, I don't get it. All right, last story today. VANECK, remember VANECK? They're one of the biggest ETF companies in the world. Well, they are now applying for a new kind of ETF. And this is after Gary Gensler came out and said that he believes that an ETF that may be approved might be on Bitcoin futures. And that's exactly what VANECK are trying to do. They are going to file for a futures-based Bitcoin ETF after SEC hints at path to approval. Last week, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said he looked forward to the Commission's review of ETFs limited to the CME-traded Bitcoin futures. So, good or bad thing for crypto? Well, on the one hand, we do want more money coming into the ecosystem as much as possible. But the problem with the CME futures is that the futures don't actually buy the Bitcoin. They're what you call cash-settled futures, which means they never buy the Bitcoin. They just speculate on the price of Bitcoin, which does mean, well, no risk of hacks, no risk of losing private keys, no risk of custodies. But it does mean that if we do get an ETF, it may be an ETF which doesn't even get people to buy underlying Bitcoin. And if that happens, well, I think that's quite a sad state of affairs. I also believe that we may be surprised and an ETH ETF may come way, way, way sooner than expected. And that's information that I've got from some of my little birdies. So that is my 14 minutes up, which means that I will see you guys again tomorrow. 3 shows every single day. If you've enjoyed this microdose, subscribe to the channel. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, much honor.